So let me ask you another question. What are the trends now in the market?
So we're seeing a significant amount of capital flowing both into residential and commercial.
Okay.
From the residential side, we're looking at people that are trying to acquire blocks of flats. Why do people do that? The main thing is, look, you want to spread the risk of your income. So, for example, you put all of your money into one house, and you rent that house out to a family, and the house becomes vacant. You've completely you've lost all of your income.
Absolutely.
For amount of time that it's vacant. Whereas where you've got multiple units in a building, you're able to kind of spread that risk across. If one unit's empty, the rest of them
I love that strategy. My favorite strategy. Like invest in 10 products, not in one.
Not in one, exactly. Spread your risk.
Absolutely.
And then on the commercial side, we're seeing a push towards industrial. So, warehousing surrounding kind of regional cities and towns, anything along the main corridor roads, there's a big push for commercial.
Okay, that's really good. Can you share with us a real life success story from one of your investors?
A real life success story. So it started out as a very good deal. So we acquired a block of flats up in Sunderland.
Oh, Sunderland, okay.
Right next to the university, prime student town.
Nice.
We'd acquired the units. Funnily enough, within a month of acquiring the property, 50% of the tenants decided to leave.
Oh, why that?
Again, this is just the risk of real estate.
Okay.
Sometimes a deal can stack up. We were getting double-digit returns.
Of course.
It was an amazing deal. Very minimal work required. We were acquiring off of a client who'd already done the bulk of kind of structural works and making sure the building was in good condition. Some contracts expired at the end of within a month of us acquiring, and these tenants decided to move on. Some were buying homes, and some were just leaving the country. So these things happen. The success story out of that was with the units vacant. We went for a planning application. We managed to split these units up. They were existing 2-bedroom units. We turned them into studios.
Really
uplifted the income within a year. We had to spend some money that we didn't plan on spending within the first year to turn these units into studios. But the success story is we've increased returns by 30%.
Wow! In a year?
Within maybe 18 months, having work done.
30%, that's a lot.
30% is a good number, right? And we were buying a building that was under rented. So, I would say of that 30, 15 to maybe 18% was just bringing us back up to market. And then increasing increasing the quantum of the units by reducing the sizes was the success. So sometimes a deal looks good on paper, you dive in, it doesn't work out, but in the long term, it will always work. At the end of the day, that's the real estate market.
Oh, of course, I see. How do you see the market? I mean, the UK market in 5-10 years from now. How do you see it?
How do I see the market? So I think, look, the UK market, I say this to a lot of our Middle East investors and clientele, which is the UK market's generally rather resilient.
Absolutely.
You can expect stabilized returns over the next 50 years. It's not somewhere where you'll make massive amounts of growth.
Very stable.
It's stable, and it's stable in the right towns and cities. So you stay towards the major population centres. We will see stability. Now, where do we see the market in 5 to 10 years' time? I think from the residential perspective, there's a big push on co-work, co-living, and working within these major regional cities and towns. There will always be demand for that.
Why will always be demand for that?
If jobs exist, people need places to live.
Absolutely, of course.
We do see a big demand of students from across the world as well. The UK is probably one of the leaders in the global education sector. And it is a prestigious kind of award to be studying in the UK.
I agree.
So over the coming years, we will see correction in the real estate model. I do believe that. I think the quality of product that comes to market in the residential asset class will improve. Regulation will shape a lot of that, and it's for the better, in my opinion. So you have good properties, which means you have good tenants, and at the end of the day, you have resilient returns.
Okay, if someone is watching this interview and they would like to start investing, what would be the first piece of advice you would just give them?
The first piece of advice: don't be scared.
Well, that's too easy.
That's
too easy to say.
I think the first piece of advice is it comes back to a point I previously made, which is if the deal's too good to be true, it probably is.
Good. Okay.
But at the same time, you've got to take, you grab the bull by the horns, and you've got to dive in. The market, the real estate market doesn't move fast, but deals move very fast.
Very fast.
So opportunities come and go. We see this all the time. We have a very good deal flow. Opportunities land on our desk, and sometimes we're a day too late to review.
Very late.
And that works out to be too late because someone's already said, okay, we've accepted an offer and we're going to deliver and commit.
Well, thank you so much. Let me ask you my lovely question. I have a very good question to you. So, give me 3 main cities that if I'm an investor, that I should just focus. If I'm first-time investor, I should only focus on these 3 cities to invest in.
I would
good yields, stable, safe, everything is good.
So for good, kind of capital growth and protection of the value of the asset.
Exactly.
But lower yields, London. It's the best city of them all.
Absolutely.
It's the city where we work, where we live, where we play.
Beautiful.
I would say for growth, higher yields, but longer term, kind of growth and expectation, Manchester and its surrounding kind of towns.
Okay.
And then the third city, which I believe is one of the most underserved in the Midlands, would be Nottingham. So I think Nottingham's a very good place for for yields. The capital growth is not on par with London and Manchester as it can't be, but it's extremely underserved. I think you'll have capital growth over the next 5 years, specifically in the living, kind of residential sector. And there's demand. There's a lot of demand.
And what is the percentage of the yields?
So with Nottingham, we target anything that's 8% plus.
8% plus.
Yes, and it is possible. Those are the deals that we target. We do take more risk on. But if you're looking at a lower risk appetite, 6 to 7% is very reasonable in Nottingham, and the pricing is very good. So the entry point is lower. You can pick things up from about 150,000. You can pick up.
But that's really, really good. I mean, 150. That's cheaper than most of the Middle East.
It is, but then, like I said, you'll get a good yield, but you won't have capital growth over 5 years.
Okay. But what are the capital growth? Like, you just give me a roughly figures.
I mean, if you're between 0.35 and 0.5% per annum, you're in very good.
But that's still not bad at all. I mean,
it's still quite small compared to London, where we,
I literally don't compare anywhere to London at all. I never done that. So I think London and New York, they are in a different position.
A different position.
The city, they are, So I think, I didn't know about Nottingham. That's really good yields. It gives you good yields. Okay, so thank you so much.
No, thank you for your time.
I really appreciate your time, and hopefully see you again.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali.